Hi, beautiful. I'm Becca Starr, and today we're going to let go of toxic relationships. If you are attached to a situation that is causing you your own toxic emotions, obsession, and just this lack of decision power, I want to help you with that. I'm going to give you 5 quick strategies that you can start using right now. Hi, beautiful. My name is Becca Starr, and today we're going to talk about letting go of toxic relationships. If this is something that you want to hear more about, please let me know in the comments. Please don't forget to subscribe and hit the bell for notifications. We talk about making money doing what you love, letting go of behaviors and patterns that just don't serve you, your self-worth, setting boundaries, all of the good stuff that we really need to hear more about. I'm a life coach and a business coach. I've been doing this for a couple decades, and it's truly an honor to be here with you today. So we're going to dive in to the 5 strategies that you can use in order to deal with toxic relationships and actually have spiritual well-being, because it's very easy to think that spiritual well-being means that your heart needs to be open or that you need to just love and forgive more. That it's actually something that you need to fix. And that is not true. So the very first step is to do a daily meditation that is purely focused on developing your feeling of wholeness. One with your spirit, really connect with your wholeness, see it radiating out throughout the world, and then make better decisions from there. Choose the driver. Who is driving the car here? And let me just explain that even more. For me, it's all about your higher power. You have a higher power. That is also what makes you whole. And it's what makes other people whole. So choose who you want to be in the driver's seat. When you choose the driver, you get out of that seat. It's not a epiphany, but it is like a car on the road. It has to drive through potholes and all of the crazy, crazy stuff, or it's actually a road that's been paved ahead. That's really smooth, and it's filled with really healthy, awesome, fun pit stops along the way. Like, they feel so much better. So who's driving? Which direction are you going in? How's your car being powered? So any of those analogies that helps you, it's truly choosing the driver. Choice number 3 is choosing boundaries. So choosing boundaries isn't actually meant to hurt somebody's feelings or to be a bitch or any of the things that we think of when we're at a moment where we realize this isn't working for me. I feel like I should do things different. I don't really know how. If I say I don't like it or I want it a different way, it's going to be perceived as bitchy. It's not going to be that flexible to the situation. Like, you really, sometimes toxic relationships make you want to be more flexible than you're comfortable with. They make you want to be more supportive to the other person's needs than to your own needs. So choosing boundaries just means knowing what feels good, what doesn't, and then maintaining that just as you would for somebody else. So let's say you are very supportive and you're flexible because of that toxic relationship. Like, they get the best of you, because if you don't make it work, it's just going to blow up and bad things will happen. When you choose boundaries, they might not like it. It's going to be very uncomfortable, especially if you're dealing with a narcissist or there is just the tendency to always do what the other person wants. That will create waves. But it's not meant to harm somebody. Boundaries don't have to be said in a bitchy way. They don't have to be said with any criticism. They're not about the other person. It's just shifting you from putting the other person's needs first to putting your self-care first. Boundaries is space, and space is important for every human being. And it doesn't need to be a negative thing, although it can always be interpreted as negative by the person who wants what they want when they want it. And so keeping in mind it's a process. It doesn't have to be balls to the wall. Everything is full on rigid boundaries that are just going to just piss everybody off and it's going to make a statement. It could be that way, but boundaries aren't about all of that. They are truly just about taking care of yourself first, trusting that everyone has a higher power and that everybody has the opportunity to feel wholeness, even if they've been a victim to something, even if it's always been this way, even if. You have the key to wholeness. Everyone else also has that key to be able to feel more whole, get therapy, get help, make changes, be more honest, whatever it is that they're doing. They also know that there are ways to make it better. They might not know how, but they could watch their own video. You have options just as they do. We're all choosing different relationships and how to take care of ourselves with different relationships. It's not about making these huge changes on the outside as much as it is to start on the inside and to start with your perspective, shifting your perspective. So choosing wholeness, you can do that without making drastic changes that are going to harm, not just maybe harm other people, but maybe those changes will harm you. Do you depend on somebody for where you live or certain needs or stability? That doesn't need to be a drastic change. It just needs to be a change. You can make someone else's needs a priority for you. Somebody that doesn't treat you well or you don't feel safe with, you don't feel like they're being honest with you, like all the things that you can't be yourself with, you could choose to make their needs a priority. But what I want you to do is pick 3 priorities, just 3, and put them in order. So what is your number 1 priority? Is it, let's say we're talking about a husband and wife. If it is a husband and wife and you have children, but your number 1 priority is family, put family first. Trust me, with a good higher power, you're going to figure out what to do in all the steps after. I want you to tell me, please send me an email. If you're comfortable, put it in the comments below. What are your top 3 priorities? So those top 3 are the ones that you're choosing to be priorities. Is it your health? Is it your mental health, your physical health? Be specific. My physical health is my number 1 priority. My mental health is my number 1 priority. My spiritual well-being is my number 1 priority. My children, my financial well-being. You could pick all of the different options that everyone has. My friendships, my fun that I have in this world, like that becomes a major priority. My career. And so you have a lot of options. And so you're going to pick your top 3. And once you have those top 3, those are the ones that get your attention and your focus. So you're more focused on those and less focused on everything else. Because when you realize how much time you have in a day, if your priorities are to improve your spiritual well-being, it's not just going to happen by writing it on a piece of paper. There are actions that you could take to improve if it really was the most important thing to you. How can you improve it? What would make it look like in your life that spiritual well-being is actually one of your top priorities? So once you know what your priorities are, your next job is to really think, is my life in alignment with these priorities? And how can I actually live in a way that is in harmony with my priorities? So how can I start making small changes? I'm all about micro actions and small changes. It doesn't have to be drastic, quit your job, end your marriage, all of the things. Because once you start doing these things, making the shifts in your focus internally that you are changing, externally, things will change. They can change and they will change. Most people don't need to make crazy skydiving type decisions just to change your life. There are game changers, and they are much smaller decisions, perspectives that you're shifting that literally will change the trajectory of your life. So trust this process. You're going to choose wholeness. You're going to choose the driver. You're going to choose boundaries. You're going to choose your priorities and then start to become more aligned and get yourself living as if they really are important to you. And then the fifth strategy, this is a big one because I do this every day. And trust me, friends, I have come from a lot of toxic relationships turned either into complete, whole, higher powered relationships, or they're just not in my life anymore. And everybody survived. Everyone's living their lives the way that they choose to live their lives. But I'm not putting someone else's care or needs in front of my own or my children's. And it's just shifts that we have to start here with, and then we take different actions. The universe comes to support us and sends different people and resources, and things start to happen, but it all starts with your decision to put yourself first and to let go of obsessive thinking, doing the same thing over and over again. So where those slogans, let go and let God, just detach, surrender, like all of those nice things to say that are easier said than done, it actually brings it into your reality. It's not just some nice philosophy that would be great if you could do it. Everyone else seems like they could do it. What's wrong with me? Why can't I just let go? It's not that easy. To me, that's actually sometimes more harmful. Like letting go are these micro actions you make in moments. They are little moments in time where you make a big decision to let go. You make that big decision in a small moment to detach emotionally for the moment. You're not cutting somebody off or trying to hurt somebody because they hurt you. You just are seeing that you are whole and they are whole. Choosing detachment is something that you have to consistently make a decision about if that is something that would help you in that moment. It's not one decision to break up with somebody that ultimately changes your life. It's the decision to break up with somebody and then to keep making a decision in alignment with whatever it was that you chose over that person. Like I'm choosing to have a healthier environment. I'm choosing to have healthier conversations. Whatever you chose and the reasons why you wanted to break up with that person, that's got to be your choice in the future. So it's not just a one and done decision. When you're with somebody that's toxic, it's not going to be the only toxic person that you meet. You could work with people. You could, for whatever reason, your childhood, whatever, you could attract certain people. And until you fully learn what you need to learn, until you fully accept that you are whole, that things are the way that they are, when you bring acceptance into it, when you truly surrender to what is, then you're able to actually make decisions that support that in the future. And I find that that's kind of, it's helpful if you break off a toxic relationship. It's super helpful. But it's not actually going to be sustainable unless you are clear on what is actually important to you so that you don't keep doing it over and over and over and over and over again. Because it's so easy, if you've done it before, to actually ignore signs thinking this will be different. So friends, self-coaching is something I do every day, and I recommend my clients do every day, and that is writing down. Every day you're writing down what's holding you back. Right now in this moment, what's holding you back today, what's holding you back in your career. It could be some bigger concept, but something's holding you back because it's human nature. It just happens. It's just when you're growing, there's something that's going to come up And it's an opportunity for growth. It's always an opportunity. So let's say you are in a situation and the thing that's holding you back is boundaries. You're not able to speak up and say, I don't like that anymore. I'd like to do it differently. Or whatever that thing is. Like, you'll know, I can't tell, even my clients, I can't tell you exactly what it is every day, but this is a daily exercise, because if you really want some awesome, ultimately great life filled with purpose, with no toxicity, and your well-being is just through the roof. Like, this is something that you deserve, and it's a gift you give yourself, and it's just checking in with yourself every day, but putting pen to paper and writing about what's holding you back with the intention of what you want your perspective to be. So you're going to coach yourself, reparent yourself. You're going to talk to yourself like you would somebody that you really, really loved and cared about their well-being, and you had all the right words for them. What would you say to them? You're kind of in charge of shifting it. So you can actually change a situation that you feel stuck in. You can actually have this toxic pattern keep repeating itself, like be in this cycle with a relationship or with eating or drinking, all of the toxic ways that we can be as humans. You could have that, and you could actually, with just a little attention to it, shift your focus and your perspective and walk away from that 10-15 minute exercise with a whole new outlook. I'm going to make different decisions today. I'm going to show up differently, even energetically. I'm just different today. I'm going to do things a little different today. And trust that it will change. It can change, it will change, and you deserve it. I hope this helps. So please don't forget to subscribe. If this is stuff that you want to hear, I have a couple videos on toxic relationships. I love talking about it and all of the strategies to help you really reparent yourself and to heal fully, have personal fulfillment, put yourself first, let go of all this So I hope it helped. Thank you so much for listening, and God bless.